Yeah.
And this is what I love, love, love again about like coaching masterminds, group programs, because I was not paying attention to that until I had one of my calls and one of my programs. And she's like, you have to remember that when this stuff happens, you have to have faith that it's moving you forward. And I was just like, you know, it's things like that that you just don't, you wouldn't have by yourself.
Yes, let me say something about faith, and I love that you brought this up. So, knowledge can take you only so far. Knowledge takes you long ways, but only so far. And then it gets to a point where knowledge cannot be with you for another step.
Yeah.
And that's when faith comes in, because faith can take you through all the dark moments,
Hmm.
the dark tunnels where, we can make sense of things logically.
Yep.
Faith is there, and
Hmm.
faith can carry you.
Hmm.
And boom, all of a sudden you see the light again,
Yes.
right? And then you can grab knowledge again, but faith has to come in, because there will be moments where it'll just be heavier and darker.
Yes.
And in those moments, we grab onto faith and
Hmm.
we keep holding on to faith, perhaps just for a few more days, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then the sun is back and
Mhm.
things are fine again.
Yeah. And I think that's something obviously we don't talk about enough, but it has been life changing. I mean, I just turned 27, you guys. You know how young I am. Like I am not I'm still baby as everyone says. But if I can do it, right? I started my business at 23, newly married. If I can do it, anyone can do it, right? Like I'm not this I am self-funded. Everything I've built, I did by myself. Like we've had no other money in it. And I think that's really important to say because
And
a
I
lot
clap.
Oh, thank
Oh my
you.
gosh, so good.
Thank you. We've done that all like no loans, anything. All of this has been built
Wow.
from us doing the work, getting the money up front and moving forward. And I think that can be really hard because a lot of people can look at me and be like, oh, she's, privileged, which I was. I had a great life and I have had a great life, but I've also worked very hard. We all have our own things we've gone through. But I wanted to make that statement because I felt called to, because I think a lot of people think, oh, I need to have X before I can start, or I need to have all of this money up front and whatever. You don't. You can really build a strong, profitable business that supports your lifestyle and supports other people, right? I have a team of three amazing, career oriented marketing specialists and experts that is wonderful to have. And hopefully I'm supporting them in their career goals and their life goals. So there's just a lot of opportunity. And, Zell, obviously business ownership is hard, but what have been like three lessons that have changed your life due to being a business owner?
Yes, incredible. So, first thing that comes to mind is, believe it or not, I have more time now. What? Seriously, I was forced to come up with systems and processes in my home, right? Because I am a mom. I'm a mom of three, and
Yeah.
I'm a wife, and I volunteer at the local schools and at my church. And so business is not only my only thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I had to come up with a lot of systems for my home, which they're simple, but they help me. So
Yeah.
I think, before I was in business, when I was, being a stay-at-home mom, would go to Costco and spend, I don't know, 400 bucks, come home and say, oh gosh, what's for dinner? And then you look at your groceries and you're like, oh, I don't have sour cream, right? You just spent 400 bucks and you don't have sour cream. You don't have dinner. And then, okay, let's have cereal, guys. I'm not a cereal person, though. That's very American. I'm from Brazil. But, anyways, I'm like, yeah, I think they'll do. And now I know. So, for one thing, I know what groceries I'm buying,
Hmm.
what dinners I'm preparing and making, who is getting picked up, who's picking whoever up, what times. Like, whoo, like it feels like my home is way better managed. So
Hmm.
that's the first thing.
Hmm.
Second is, it's just incredible to be able to buy
Yeah.
things that you like
Yes.
for your children or for your friends, and go out to lunch and say, I got this.
Hmm.
And my friends are like, no, no, let's split. I'm like, I just feel like treating today
Yeah.
and not thinking, can I treat? I love treating, and people treat me. I think my friends were very generous. So it's just so good to do that.